Tutorial for the Excel formulas practice. You do need a copy of the Excel formulas worksheet to fill in while you do this tutorial. To begin with, we need to open a file from the Business Share Drive. So on your desktop, go ahead and double click on the Business Share Drive folder. And then once at the Business Share Drive, go into the Computer Tech 1 folder. Then you'll open the Excel folder, and then within this folder you will open the Formulas Practice spreadsheet. This spreadsheet that we're opening is going to have some sample applications that we're going to go through to learn some formulas, and we want to go ahead and be writing these formulas in on our Excel formulas worksheet. The first thing that you'll do on your worksheet is fill in the name of the formula or function. Then you'll write the example that we use here on this project, and then you'll put in a description of what it does next to it. Okay, first of all, we have information on keeping text the way we want it to be typed. Now this is not a formula, it's just an additional keystroke that we would type. If we click in cell C2 and we want to type in the current date, let's say that it is April 4th. When I type in April 4th and hit tab, it will apply automatic formatting to April 4th, and that may not be the way I want my text to appear. Maybe I want it to be April space 4. So what we can do in Excel is add an apostrophe, and that is the key right next to your enter key, and then I can type in April 4 and hit tab. The apostrophe goes away, but the text stays the way that we would want it. So on your formula or function you would put the apostrophe. For the example you would put apostrophe April 4, and what it does, it keeps text exactly how we type it. Next up, we're going to learn how to do addition. The formula for this is called the sum formula, S-U-M. What we'll do is click in cell B8, and when we're doing a formula in Excel, we start by putting in the equals symbol. This tells the computer we're going to perform a calculation. Now with addition, there is the feature called sum. So we'll type in the word sum, and you'll see it come up in a drop-down list below. You can double-click on that name from the drop-down list. It adds an opening parenthesis. Then we simply have to highlight the values that we want to add, and then put a closing parenthesis and press tab. Now another way we can do this is also to use our auto sum. That is a button that's up here in the editing group. You just need to click in the cell where you'd like the answer to appear. Then you can click on your auto sum button and it will make a guess as to what you would like to add up. If for some reason it chose the wrong area, maybe I wanted to add up these three, then I can just simply click and highlight the area that I do want to select. And then I can press enter to come up with the answer. So on your formulas notes, you'll write in the formula as being sum. An example would be this one you see in your formula bar, equals sum, let me zoom in on that, equals sum B5 colon B7, and there's parentheses around the cell reference. And then what it does, it will perform addition. Okay, next up we have multiplication. This one I'm not going to teach you a function. I'm going to teach you a simple formula. And we'll do that by doing equals. Then we click on the first number that we would like to multiply by, and that puts in a cell reference of B10. Then we use the asterisk or the little star, and then click on the second number that we would like to use. And then we can press enter or tab. And so on your worksheet you will put in the asterisk under formula or function, that little star. And then for your example, you'll put in equals B10 star C10, and then for what it does, you would put in multiplication. Next up, we have subtraction. Again, I'm just going to have you use a very simple equation or a simple formula. And we're going to do equals. We're in cell C14. And then I'm going to click on 18 minus, then click on 16 and press enter. So for your formulas or function, you're just going to put the minus symbol or the hyphen. And for your example, we'll put in B13 minus B15. Make sure you have the equal symbol in front of that. And then for what it does, you'll put subtraction. Now I would like you to add a little note here. When you are doing subtraction, if it's a story problem and it says subtract cell B15 from cell B13, the one that you click on first in your formula is whichever cell it tells you to subtract from. And I told you to subtract from B13. So your formula would be B13 minus B15. Be really careful, otherwise you'll end up with a negative number where you don't want a negative to appear. Okay, next up, if we scroll down a little bit, we're going to apply formatting for a totals row. And what we do on our formatting for a totals row is we highlight from the word totals over to the last number in our spreadsheet. Notice we did highlight some blank cells in between. And then the formatting we're going to apply is a single line above, a double line below. And if we come up here to the font group and click on the drop down, there's an option that says top and double bottom border. So on your totals row, you would apply a top and double bottom border. You can add that under your section labeled Other Notes on your worksheet. Okay, next we have copying a formula. I'm going to click in cell B24 and I'm going to do just a simple addition formula. So I'm going to do equals, click on the number 15, plus, and then I'm going to click on the number 20. And that gives me the answer of 35. Now I could continue to enter that same formula all the way across this, but that can take some time. So it's very helpful if instead we use a fill feature. Now there's a couple ways you can use this. You can use the fill handle, which is found by moving your mouse pointer on top of the little square in the bottom right hand corner of your active cell, and it'll turn into a solid black plus symbol. You can click and hold and drag to the right and then let go, and it'll copy that formula. You can also highlight the original cell and the two cells to the right of it that you would like to fill to, and up in your editing group there is a fill button. We can click on that and say fill to the right, and it will copy the formula that way as well. So on other notes, you just want to make sure you make a note about how to use that fill handle or the fill feature using the button in the editing group. The last thing you need to know how to do is to convert your spreadsheet to text. I like to have you turn in a version that is a text version and a version that would be a nice printout that you could turn in to your boss. So to convert to text so I can see your formulas, you hold down the control key and you press the button above tab, which has that little squiggly line or the accent mark, and that's called your tilde button. So if I do control tilde, it will show me the formulas inside each cell. And then to change it back to the original view, you can do control tilde again and change it back. Okay, go ahead and add that under other notes as well. And then that's all you'll add to your Excel formulas for today. We'll add a few more as we do some projects later on.